In other news, to no surprise, Singapore Airlines is losing money. Its latest results show a record loss of $3.5 billion for the 6 months to September. The loss was a reversal from a $206 million profit in the same period last year.
SIA blaming a plunge in passenger numbers due to the pandemic and impairment charges on older aircraft. Also, the retrenchment exercise, which cost 2,000 jobs, cost the group $42 million.
Ven Srinivasan, the Straits Times' associate editor and executive editor of Money FM 89.3, joins us now. So, Ven, how would you describe SIA's current financial position?
When you talk about SIA's financial position, the liquidity matters. They have raised about $11 billion, okay, through the last 2 months or 3 months ago. So they are sitting pretty. In terms of liquidity positions, they are in a better position than most of their Asia-Pacific competitors. They have the money. But what is more concerning for SIA right now is their competitive position. Given that their competitors, although they are distressed, could be headed for hard resets. They're all backed by the governments or sovereign wealth funds in their countries. So the question is, has SIA restructured enough? You know, yes, they have kicked off their second 3-year transformation project in October. They have laid off about 20% of staff. They've done various other things. The question now is, will they come back more competitive? They have the money, whether you'll be competitive enough when it comes down to the crunch.
Yeah, right. Now, SIA Group expects it can regain 16% of its pre-COVID capacity by December, as well as 37% of its pre-COVID city links. It's tapping on cargo demand and smaller offerings like, the A380 restaurant and the tour of the training facility. But then, to what extent can these strategies help in SIA's overall recovery?
Okay, the restaurant A380, I went for it. It's pretty good, well done and all that, yeah. But it is primarily a customer engagement exercise, okay, just to keep SIA in the minds and give locals and whoever is interested an SIA experience. It's not something to make money. They don't make much money out of that. They did it for 2 weekends and that was that. Cargo helps, yes, but on cargo, they are up against very strong competitors, like the Koreans and the Taiwanese and all that. What SIA really needs is for this 98% passenger loss, traffic loss to come back. And that's not an easy thing to do given the current position. SIA has no domestic routes. We are a small island. So SIA depends very heavily on markets and routes being reopened. Now, we have Singapore has just negotiated with Hong Kong, and we're going to open a sort of a bubble, where you do a 48-hour pre-departure COVID test and all that. Now, if that works, the Singapore-Hong Kong bubble takes off. In fact, I hear tickets have all been sold out. If that works, we can start looking at other markets, whether it's Taipei or Seoul or even Tokyo, maybe even Auckland and others.
Well, Ven, you've also previously written about how SIA will need to become a much smaller company if it wants to ride through the crisis, operating fewer aircraft with a smaller workforce, as well as serving a smaller network and carrying fewer passengers. How is it faring so far on that front, while at the same time maintaining its brand image as a global leader in the aviation industry?
They have to be a different airline without giving up their premium branding. Okay, they will still, while I say they will be a smaller airline, it doesn't mean they're going to be a small regional airline. They'll have less aircraft for sure. They may get off routes where there's too much of competition and it just doesn't make sense, but they will still be Southeast Asia's biggest intercontinental carrier. I mean, New York, Europe, Frankfurt, London, wherever. So SIA will be smaller, but it will not be insignificant. It will still be a major player.
That was Associate Editor for the Straits Times, Ven Srinivasan.